New data from thousands of early vaccine recipients shows declining effectiveness, and the CDC says it's due to the Delta variant. The data prompted the Biden administration.
Hello, today I present to you an extremely attractive application for music lovers. It's completely free. You can listen to music online or download unlimited music to use whenever you don't have internet. The powerful search function helps you find anything you want. Trust me. It's hard not to find what you're looking for because the search function is really powerful. Application download link is attached in the description of the video. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Thanks.
Administration's decision on booster shots. Federal officials are calling it a, quote, plan for the future, as Dr. Anthony Fauci emphasizes the need to stay ahead of the virus. David Begnaud has more from Louisiana. David?
This booster plan from the Biden administration has to get FDA approval first, and they need the green light from a CDC advisory panel, but there's no reason to believe that won't happen. You know, Dr. Fauci told me today that if you got Pfizer or Moderna, you're probably going to want to stick with your same manufacturer when you go to get your booster shot. Today, in what the president said was an attempt to stay ahead of the coronavirus.
My administration has been planning for this possibility in this scenario for months. We purchased enough vaccine and vaccine supplies so that when your 8-month mark comes up, you'll be ready to get your vaccination free.
This booster strategy comes from data which shows that the vaccines are losing efficacy over time.
The current strong protection against severe infection, hospitalization, and death could decrease in the months ahead, especially among those who are at higher risk or who were vaccinated earlier during the phases of our vaccination rollout.
The case for boosters is building. 3 studies published by the CDC today show that the effectiveness of vaccines against infection declined when the Delta variant began circulating. One study examined the records of more than 10 million New Yorkers and found that vaccine effectiveness against infection in May was 92%, but then it dropped to 80% months later. Yet at the same time, protection against hospitalization continued. Dr. Fauci, if the vaccines are diminishing over time, how many boosters do you think people are going to need?
I would doubt if we're going to need many boosters when we try to find out the breadth and the depth of the response by a booster. It is really extraordinary. It goes up by multiple fold, at least 20 to 30 fold. So we don't anticipate that beyond this we're going to need anything else.
There is reason for worry. This country is averaging 500 COVID deaths a day. President Biden lashed out at governors that he claims are playing politics with safety measures.
We're not going to sit by as governors try to block and intimidate educators protecting our children.
211, I'm en route.
The surge through southern states is overwhelming. 27-year-old Trent Tarbutton is a field supervisor for Acadian Ambulance in Lafayette, Louisiana.
I think we have 3 of them right now currently waiting.
He took us to Lafayette General Medical Center, where there were ambulances lined up. He says recently paramedics have waited between 30 minutes and 3 hours.
We kind of just have to tell the hospital, like, look, find something. We don't care where you put this patient. You have to put them somewhere because we need to run emergencies.
Despite transporting COVID-positive patients weekly, medic Brittany Deku is not vaccinated. You're up close with it. Does that not change your opinion?
No. Me and my family are very religious. We pray a lot. We trust God.
You know, Louisiana set another record today, more COVID hospitalizations than at any other point in the pandemic. And the last record was yesterday. And the previous record was the day before. And this is impacting non-COVID patients. Just yesterday, there was a man in central Louisiana who had a heart attack, cardiac arrest. He went to his community hospital, and they decided he needed advanced care at a larger hospital. So they started making phone calls, looking around. They spent 2 hours, and they looked 100 miles around, and they could not find one available hospital bed. Lana?
Those effects everywhere. David, thank you. For more, I want to turn to Dr. Adrian Burrowes. He's a family medicine physician and the CEO of Physicians Group. Dr. Burrowes, thank you for being here. So the CDC is warning of a, quote, significant decline in vaccine effectiveness for some people. This as the Delta variant fuels spikes in cases and hospitalizations. What more can you tell us? Is waning immunity something that the general population should be worried about?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on. So what's clear is that, especially with the threat of the Delta variant, the vaccines have become less effective the further out you are from your vaccination date. So the most recent data shows that potentially 58% effectiveness at the 8-month mark. So it's something that Americans who are vaccinated should look forward to the fact that, starting the 20th of September, we will be able to get some boosters.
Well, the administration, as I mentioned, has officially recommended a booster shot for Americans who received the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines 8 months after initial vaccination. But as we just heard David report, it still requires support from the FDA and the CDC. Given the data, are they likely to lend their support?
Yes. So they just reviewed data, 3 trials that all show essentially the same thing, which is that a booster is necessary. Now, the manufacturers have stated that previously. Both the Pfizer and Moderna manufacturers have stated that they thought a booster would be necessary moving forward, and now we have the data to support that.
Well, a World Health Organization official described booster shots as giving extra life jackets to people who already have them, while millions of people remain unprotected worldwide. What kind of an impact does the White House's decision have on a global fight against the pandemic?
Sure. So there's been a lot of talk about how we've essentially stockpiled vaccines. But the reality is this: when I break the seal on a Moderna or a Pfizer vaccine, it has a finite shelf life on the entire pack of vaccines that are inside that initial pack. And a lot of those are getting wasted because Americans are not getting vaccinated. Meanwhile, you have Americans who are vaccinated who are now seeing waning immunity. So I would rather those vaccines go in arms than in the trash, like they're going into the trash now.
Well, the U.S. Surgeon General seems to agree with you. He says he doesn't accept that we have to, quote, choose between America and the world. And he adds that officials see the U.S. responsibility as fighting both fights. Given this, that the protection of these initial vaccines is waning here at home, action, he says, is required. What role, though, does the U.S. have to play, both in containing the virus here at home as well as an international role? And are we doing enough on that front?
So I think that the best way to combat the global pandemic is to deal with our national pandemic. And one of the things that I've been very upset about is that we have the politicization of the pandemic. This is not a political issue; it's a public health issue, and we really need to be working towards getting people vaccinated as soon as possible. And so, anyone who is, I live in the state of Florida, and our governor has not done everything that he could do to promote vaccination in our state. And I think that those barriers need to be removed so that Americans can go ahead and get vaccinated. And as we protect our country, we protect the nation. And then that will just translate globally as we set the example.
One last question for you, Dr. Burrowes. Dr. Fauci says we have to, quote, stay ahead of the virus. This is a virus that has obviously mutated before. I'm wondering just how important are boosters as a tool, as part of that toolkit for the solution to this pandemic?
Yeah, I think that coronavirus has been vexing for us as medical doctors, for researchers, because it has mutated so many times. And I agree with Dr. Fauci that we need to stay ahead of it. I'm happy that we're moving towards administering boosters because the data is supporting that. I think that, as we move forward, hopefully more Americans will go ahead and at least get that first vaccine, the ones who aren't vaccinated. But what is encouraging is that the data is showing that with this third dose, it's exponentially effective in preventing the disease. And so hopefully that this third dose will be the last that we'll have to have.
Dr. Adrian Burrowes, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.